they were a little loose with their money. They gave some to some people there nearby. They decided they were going to travel straight to Florida. So they were headed down to Florida. They stopped in Atlanta a couple of times, showed some money, and gave what they. In my grandparents' case, they got a big diamond ring. My grandmother had one big diamond ring, and a couple other things. They pawned a few things, but the diamond ring comes into play much later. But that came up. We found in the murder trial on the mother of Mr. Epperson. His mom was wearing my grandmother's wedding ring, which caused a lot of trouble that day. That was an interesting time. But so they got involved in that. They had Roger Epperson in Atlanta back in April had skipped on an assault charge. So they were looking for him then. Lester T. Burns at the time was the Johnny Cochran of Kentucky lawyers. If you were guilty of something or a defendant, you wanted Lester to be your attorney. Once they got arrested, Lester was actually helping them launder some of the money. They wanted to get some of the money gone. So he ended up getting disbarred, served prison time for it. They went to Florida, were partying, had a boat set up to take them out of the country, and was going to be great. They got a couple of girlfriends. Sherry was Hodges' girlfriend. They met this other group that was partying pretty hard with some cocaine and decided, you know what, we'll leave tomorrow. Don't worry about it. And so they partied that night, and at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, the FBI kicked the door down and arrested them then and then extradited them back, and then that's when our whole process started.
So did they find out who these were because the doctor knew them and the doctor told
Once the doctor described and then word got out, everybody knew who it was.
Everybody said, well, it has to be this
They had
person.
met with an individual, not the best individual there in Letcher County, and he's like, well, they talked to me about maybe doing something to him. And then this one said, well, yeah, they wanted to borrow this from me to do that part of it, or they wanted to see if I could help them with a car that looked like a cop car, and everything started piecing together. And even then, now we have CSI's TV where you can find everything. Back then, DNA wasn't around. You didn't have all that forensic stuff to do. You had to, like old school, you had to actually dig and find stuff. And what was up, beat your feet,
Yes.
hoofs on the ground to try to figure it all out.